Have you ever dragged yourself out of bed, coffee in hand, only to feel that bone-deep exhaustion settling in before the day even begins? It's not just tiredness, it's like your very life force is leaking away drop by drop, leaving you hollow, unmotivated, questioning if this is all there is. I know that feeling intimately, the one where you push through, smiling on the outside but inside you're screaming for a spark of energy that never comes. What if I told you Carl Jung, the visionary who mapped the human soul, saw this chronic fatigue not as a medical mystery, but as a cry from your unconscious, a signal that you're living a life out of alignment with your true self? Stay with me, this could be the revelation that reignites your fire. If this hits home, don't forget to subscribe for more insights that cut through the noise. Like the video if you're ready to reclaim your energy, and comment below. What's one thing draining you right now? Let's dive in. Carl Jung revolutionized psychology by viewing the mind not as a machine, but as a dynamic ecosystem of energies, psychic forces he called libido, not limited to Freud's sexual drive, but encompassing all vital urges for growth, creation, and meaning. In his work, Psychological Types, Jung describes how this energy flows between the conscious and unconscious, like a river nourishing the soul. But when blocked or misdirected, it leads to stagnation, manifesting as chronic fatigue. It's as if your inner world is a garden. Neglect the roots and the blooms wither no matter how much sunlight you chase. Imagine you're a sailor on a vast ocean, your psyche. Jung believed chronic fatigue arises when we ignore the unconscious currents pulling us toward individuation, the process of becoming whole by integrating hidden parts of ourselves. This isn't New Age fluff, it's rooted in ancient wisdom. Plato, in his Republic, likened the soul to a chariot pulled by two horses, one noble, one wild, driven by reason. Imbalance tires the driver. Similarly, Jung saw fatigue as the soul's exhaustion from suppressing the shadow, those rejected traits we hide from the world. Let's unpack this personally. You might wake up depleted because your days are filled with roles that don't feed your spirit. The job that pays but doesn't inspire, the relationships that demand but don't reciprocate. Jung warned in Modern Man in Search of a Soul, that modern life, with its emphasis on rationality and productivity, starves the mythic, intuitive side of us. Historically, think of the Industrial Revolution's toll. Workers like cogs in machines, their psychic energy siphoned into endless toil, leading to widespread burnout. Nietzsche echoed this in Thus Spoke Zarathustra, railing against the last man who seeks comfort over greatness, resulting in a weary, passionless existence. The uncomfortable truth? Your fatigue might not be from overwork, but from underliving, from betraying your deeper calling for societal approval. Story time. Consider Anna, a corporate executive I once knew. Sharp, ambitious, she climbed the ladder, but by 35 she was chronically exhausted, doctors baffled by tests showing nothing wrong. Therapy revealed her shadow, a creative artist suppressed since childhood, when her parents pushed practical paths. Jung would say her libido was trapped in the unconscious, manifesting as fatigue, a defense against the pain of unlived potential. The twist? When she started painting on weekends, her energy surged not from rest but from alignment. It's like Machiavelli's advice in The Prince. To conquer, know your terrain. Ignore your inner landscape and fatigue becomes the conqueror. But let's go deeper. Fatigue as soul loss. Jung, influenced by shamanic traditions, described how trauma or conformity fragments the psyche, scattering energy like shards of glass. In indigenous cultures, shamans retrieve lost soul parts. Jung modernized this as shadow work. Bonhoeffer, the theologian who faced Nazi horrors, wrote in Life Together about the exhaustion of inauthentic community, pretending unity while inwardly divided. Apply this. Your social circle might drain you not through conflict, but through superficial harmony, echoing Plato's cave where shadows masquerade as reality. You sit in meetings or dinners nodding along, but your soul whispers, "This isn't me." The unexpected twist. Research in psychoneuroimmunology shows repressed emotions weaken the immune system, linking psychological misalignment to physical fatigue, your body literally protesting your life script. Vivid analogy. Picture your energy as a bonfire. Conscious efforts like exercise or diet add logs, but if the flames are smothered by unconscious fears, fear of failure, of vulnerability, the fire dims. Nietzsche's will to power urges stoking that inner drive, but Jung adds nuance. It's not brute force but harmonious flow. If you're an introvert forcing extroversion or vice versa, energy leaks. In Psychological Types, Jung details how extroverts recharge outwardly, introverts inwardly. Mismatch breeds exhaustion. Historically, Machiavelli's cunning princes conserved energy by adapting, but at what cost? Pretense fatigues the soul. Now address your fears head-on. That nagging dread of change, quitting the job, ending the toxic tie, keeps you stuck, energy sapped by indecision. Jung called this the enantiodromia, where extremes flip. Overcommitment to security births rebellion as fatigue. Uncomfortable truth challenging convention. Society sells hustle culture as virtue, but Jung saw it as collective neurosis, a flight from the self. Bonhoeffer, imprisoned for his convictions, found energy in authenticity, writing that true rest comes from surrendering illusions. You might think rest cures fatigue, but the twist? It's action, confronting the unconscious, that restores. Let's illustrate with a tale from antiquity, twisted through Jung's lens. Odysseus, in Homer's epic, endured endless trials, his energy waning not from battles, but from separation from his true home. Ithaca symbolizing the integrated self. Plato interpreted myths as soul journeys. Jung agreed, seeing fatigue as the Odyssey's toll when we wander from our archetype. Modern example. A friend, Mark, battled chronic fatigue syndrome after years in finance. Meds helped little. Jungian therapy uncovered his repressed anima, feminine intuition ignored in a macho world. Integrating it through journaling and dreams, his vitality returned. The shock? Fatigue was his psyche's merciful halt, forcing reflection before total collapse. Diving into psychic energy mechanics. Jung viewed it as quantifiable, like physics conservation law. Energy transforms but doesn't vanish. In conflict, it's diverted to complexes, autonomous psychic fragments that hijack your drive. Machiavelli might advise manipulating these for gain, but Jung urges dialogue. Suppress anger and it festers as lethargy, express it healthily and energy frees. Nietzsche's eternal recurrence tests. Would you relive this drained life forever? If no, fatigue signals misalignment. But here's where it gets personal, your unconscious behaviors. That habit of people-pleasing? It's energy theft, as Bonhoeffer warned against false piety draining the spirit. Or procrastination, not laziness but fear's disguise per Jung. Vivid language, it's like carrying an invisible backpack of unresolved grief, each step heavier. The twist overturning norms. Therapy isn't weakness, it's warfare on inner saboteurs. Historical context. During World War I, soldiers' shell shock mirrored chronic fatigue, psychic overload from horror. Jung treated such cases, linking it to archetypal overwhelm. As we near the end, reflect. Chronic fatigue isn't a curse, it's a compass pointing to buried treasures in your psyche. Jung implored us to make the unconscious conscious, lest it rule as fate. By heeding this, you transform exhaustion into evolution. But linger on this. What if your deepest fatigue stems not from what you've done, but from the dreams you've deferred? Let that unsettle you into action. Thank you for joining this exploration. May it spark your renewal.